Hello, I've been a teacher for more than 40 years, and I'm convinced more than ever, the longer I teach and the more I see, that handwriting is super important and that we need to spend more time on it. At my school where I teach, we do it every day. 2 reasons why it's important. Number 1, when the students are writing, they are not just listening, they are actually being involved in what's going on. And that is very important. So they are actively engaged, they're using it's hands-on, and it's so hard, it's hard to write and talk at the same time because I'm focusing on my writing. So number 1, they're involved with what's going on in the classroom. Number 2, this involves processing time. When the students are writing, they have to be thinking, what's the next letter? What am I doing? What am I writing here? And so it helps their processing. They're engaged, they're involved. It's the equivalent to actually sewing something or carving something by wood versus just pushing a button on a 3D printer. When they're writing, they're involved in it, and they're using their brains to be processing what's going on. And that is super important. So, handwriting is important. All right, the first thing is we need padding. I like to use 2 or 3 papers so that it's smooth. There are no wood bumps, desk bumps, anything hard like that is going to make the writing jaggedy and bumpy, and that's not good. And so the first thing is, especially when they're learning in the beginning, they've got to have lined paper. They need the top line, the bottom line, which this one's really good. It's in red. That means stop, usually. And the second thing is the third thing. The first thing is the padding. The second thing is the lined paper. The third thing is when they are first learning, it's got to be, the paper has to be still. This does 2 things. If you tape it down, and in the 1960s, this was commonplace. When I was in school, when we learned in 1st grade, the teacher taped all 4 corners, if I remember correctly, of the paper to hold it still. When students graduate then, after about 3 days of this, it will drive them crazy to try to write. I don't know how many students that I've taught that have done this, and the paper, especially if they don't have padding, is on a surface and the paper is constantly moving around. Once you've got this taped down, you learn that when you write, your left hand, if you're right-handed, or your right hand if you're left-handed, is at the top of the paper holding it still. And when the paper is still, you can write and it's not wiggling around and moving around. And that, again, is so good for their brain processing. Everything is calm. Everything is still. We're not dealing with wiggling around and sloppy writing. So, all right, the next thing is the grip. And the lobster pinch grip with the 3 fingers is the traditional best way that I've ever seen. It rests on the 3rd finger there, right about the knuckle. And the 2nd finger is there to hold it still, and then your triangle grip is completed with your thumb. All right, so the grip is number 3, super important, and number 4, your fist has to be resting on the paper. This is what does the writing, not the arm, or even students sometimes write up in the air. That is super important. There are also those little triangle grip thingies that can be used. Those are great for a while when they're younger, or even the big pencils, as long as they have the right grip. When I was in 1st grade, there were 1 or 2 students that could not. They were holding it funny, or whatever, or something like that. And literally, the teacher, I remember the teacher, she was sweet about it, but she said, you are using the wrong grip, and it's going to be a problem for you the rest of your life. And she actually came around, and she got a thing of tape, and she wrapped it around, and those children walked around all day with that hand until recess or something. It was that important, and that impressed upon the rest of us that this is super important. affects the rest of their schooling. It affects how they're going to process everything they learn. Is it fast and sloppy and haphazard and wrong, or is it orderly and done correctly? All right, the first thing is they have to learn downstrokes. Every letter should start at the top and go down. Down. They should never be going up. It makes these wispy, messy strokes. It should always be, a lot of times they'll say like an airplane or, is landing, boop, right on the dot, and then go down and stop the car or the airplane at the red line. And if they go over, circle it. Look, that you went over. Look, you went under. They need to learn to make those lines correctly. The next thing is it's always left to right, like with the letter E, left to right, and then up and over, left to right. With the letter T, left to right. With the capital letter E, up to down, left to right, left to right, left to right. If the students are going up and down, sometimes down, sometimes up, sometimes left, sometimes right, again, everything is disorderly, and it does affect their brains and how they process things because everything is haphazard and a mess. So when they learn the direction for every letter, for example, an A is going to be start at the top, go down and stop on a slant, go back to that top, go down again, stop on the red line, and then left to right, stopping right at that. We don't go over the lines. This should be modeled for students on the board with lines. They make these awesome little magnetic things that stick on the board now. And the students should watch that several times. They're not going to get it just after once. Show them again. Start on the dot, go down to the left, stop right on the red line, go back to the dot, go down and to the right, stop on the red line, and then left to right, right on the lines, not crossing over, not sloppy. They need to see this 3 or 4 times before they even attempt it on their own. Then they should do it in the air. Have them reach up in the air. Start on the dot, go down, stop. Go back to the dot, go down, stop. And then go to the left, left to right. They should mimic those motions in the air a couple of times before they ever get a paper. Then they get their paper and we tape it down. And I like mine to have their name there at the top after they know how to correctly write their name, which, to be honest with you, they need to learn the letters first. All right? And this is a review of all the letters. I have each of these, a whole page of just capital A's and a whole page of lowercase a's or whatever. This is a review. But for the sake of this video and trying to keep it short, we're going to go through it like this. So we already did the A. The B, stop, go down, go back to the top, around and around. And they should trace the first one. And then they should do it on their own. Double check. Do they have the right grip? Is their arm down? Is their hand at the top of the page? All right. C, up again to the left, down, and then up a little bit to the right. And then they should do their own. And by this point, they've already done a whole page of these, and this is review. The D, dot, down, go back to the dot, down and around. Make one on their own. And when you're done, you should go through and grade it. Look for something that they did wrong and circle at least one thing in a different color. I like to use purple instead of red. But constantly be trying to fix it and correct it. If you show them it's important, they'll believe it's important. Down, left to right, left to right, left to right. Down, left to right, left to right, left to right. F is the same way. Down, left to right, left to right. Down, left to right, left to right. G, up, touch the line, go down, touch the line, and then in. And they have to stop completely. Stop the car completely before going in. H, down, down, across. Down, down, across. And again, each of these letters, they should get instruction on it 4 or 5 times on the board, and then like 3 times in the air before they ever attempt to do it. And they should do 1 letter a day, and they should do them correctly. Left to right, down, hook up. Left to right, down, little hook up. K, down, in, and then he kicks out. Down, down, in, and kicks out. L, down, left to right. M, and there are different ways to do this. It just needs to be consistent. Down, back to the dot, down, up, down. Down, back to the dot, down, up, down. In, down, back to the dot, down, up. That is one of the rare ups. Down, down, up. It could also be down, down, down. Whatever it is, make it consistent. O, the O's are a little bit harder because we're starting not on the line. And again, when they learn this, they've got a whole page of just the dots. If you're interested in these, email me. I've got them all. Up and down, touch the bottom line, and up. Up, touch the line, and the arrows is what I like about this too. It's got the arrows on it so they know the direction. P, down, back to the dot, and around. Down, back to the dot, and around. Q, just like the O, only he has a little kickstand. Touch the top line, touch the bottom line, try to make it even and not lopsided, kickstand. R, down. Also noticing I'm not holding it like down here. They shouldn't be down in the wood. They should be about maybe 1/2 inch from the top, and they shouldn't be up high like that. That's weird too. Right about there. R, down, around, and the kick out. Down, around, and a kick out. S, up, touch the line, slide down. Notice this is mostly left to right, and then the little hook up at the end. Up, touch the line, slide down, touch the bottom line, up. T, left to right, up to down. Left to right, up to down. And I'm just going to use the tape on here again. I just want to stress, if a child learns the first couple of days when they're writing like this, they'll never want to go back to the wiggle. They should always have that hand up here. All right, U, and I'm going to, just for the sake of time, I'm not going to do the tracing, but it is super important that they do that. And again, every sheet of these has the arrows and shows the direction. Down, up, and then down with a little kickstand. V, notice this one's curved. V's are not. Straight down, straight up. W, down, up, down, up. And those take a lot of practice. Could also be that one where it's halfway up for a W. Whatever you choose, be consistent. X, straight down, and it should cross right on the line. My padding was off here. All right, Y, down, and then down, stop completely, stop the car completely, and then go down. Z, left to right, up to down, left to right. All right, A, same thing as before, only now we're going to, with these letters, we're going to be on the lower half or the downstairs. Touch the top line, touch the bottom line, little kickstand. Touch the top line, touch the bottom line, little kickstand. I cannot stand the A's that go like that because they look like an O and an L. I will not let my students do those. B, I call these trampoline letters. They're going to go down and bounce up on the trampoline and come over. And when I'm teaching these two, I will show my students, okay, what's wrong with that? There's too big of a circle here. It didn't come up and touch the dotty dot. Have them look for things that are wrong. C, same as an O. Come up, touch the line, come down. Check the grip. Is their hand firmly on the paper? And this is what's moving, not their arm. Is it still? Is their left hand up here holding the paper still? Another trampoline letter. Down, bounce up, come around. E's are hard. E's need to have a little sharp nose on them. Left to right, stop, sharp pointed nose, up, touch the dotty dot, come back through the dot and down and up. I remember when I was in first grade, to me those were the hardest letters, but I had a good teacher. F, these are your shepherd's crook letters. Come up and down and then left to right. G, just like the A's and the O's and the C's, we're going to start below the line, come up, touch the line, go up, and notice this is our first letter that gets to go down to the basement. H, trampoline letter, down, bounce up, and over. I, start on the dot, go down, and I don't like if they just make a dot like that. I tell them to make a little bitty dot. And you know what's fun? Use purple or different colors or something. All right, J, another basement letter. We're going to start on the dot, go down, hook up, and then our little dotty dot. K, down, same as the capital letter, but now we're only in the downstairs for our K. He kicks in and kicks out. L, on the line, on the line. If they do nothing else but stay on the lines, their writing will be pretty good. M, trampoline letter. This one gets to do 2 bounces on the trampoline. Notice how everything should be slow and deliberate. N, down, trampoline, bounce up, touch the dot, and stop right on that bottom line. O, again, below, rainbow, little rainbow letter. The G is a rainbow letter. The A is a rainbow letter. The C is a rainbow letter. The O, start on the dot. Your rainbow goes up and touches the dotty dot, comes down, touches the bottom line, and stop. P, down to the basement, and then up, back up to where you were, and then left to right and down. It is very important that they learn these basement letters. I've seen students that did not learn these properly, and the rest of their way through school, they were confused about what goes down to the basement and what doesn't. Q, another rainbow letter, up and around. This one gets to go down to the basement, and Q is a strange letter. He gets to kick up. I'll even have them draw a little arrow on there sometimes. Okay, now let's say they've graduated. They've done a week of the paper being taped down. Now they've got their padding underneath. I also have them tap it, make sure it's all lined up nice, and then they've got to have their hand here. R, and this would be an example of semi, one of the other ones where they repeat these, and I'm going to, for the sake of time, I'm not going to do it, but R, trampoline letter, and the R has a little roof. He goes down and up, and I tell them there should be a little space in there. S, kind of like a rainbow letter. The rainbow goes up, touches the dotty dot, slide down and up. These are hard for them. They're going to want to go above the line like that and below because they're hard to make. That's another important reason that they have they make these different sizes. I like the big. I think this is an inch when they're first learning. All right, and then it can get smaller and smaller. All right. But these are going to be hard. They have to go up and touch the dotty dot, slide just down the slide, and then up. T, down, left to right. U, touch the bottom line up and a little kickstand. Notice this one's curved. These are not. Down, up. W's, all straight lines. The car is going to go down and then up, and then down, and then up. X's, similar to the first one, down, and then crisscross right in the middle. Top to bottom, crisscross right in the middle. Y's, And see the numbers on there. Number 1, we go down and stop on that bottom line. Number 2, we go through the line, making sure that it touches. And there are these little guidelines on there. Z's are backwards of an S. They're going to go the opposite direction, and they're going to be straight zigzags. Chook, chook, chook. Left to right, slide down, left to right. All right, I hope this has been helpful. Handwriting is super important. If children can do the handwriting properly, it will help them the rest of their years of school and even into adulthood, being able to process things correctly.